She didn't believe in second chances. Not in people, not in mistakes, and definitely not in appearances. To her, success came from control, precision, and never trusting anyone who looked like they didn't belong at her level. That morning had already gone wrong. The board meeting was tense, investors were impatient, and something felt off inside her own company. Numbers didn't add up, but no one dared to question her decisions openly. She hated uncertainty more than failure. When her luxury car suddenly stopped in the middle of the parking lot, her patience snapped. Employees watched from a distance. No one moved until security called for a mechanic from a nearby workshop. It was the fastest option. He arrived quietly. Grease-stained shirt, tired eyes, but steady hands. He looked like someone life had tested too many times, and someone who had learned not to complain. She looked at him once and had already made up her mind. "This is who you sent." Her voice was sharp, loud enough for others to hear. He didn't react, just nodded slightly and walked toward the car. "You think you can fix this?" She added, crossing her arms, tone dripping with sarcasm. "I can take a look," he replied calmly. A few employees exchanged glances. They knew her tone. This wasn't going to be kind. "Go ahead," she said with a smirk. "If you manage to fix it, maybe I'll finally believe miracles exist." Some people chuckled quietly. It wasn't funny, but no one wanted to stand against her. He ignored the laughter, opened the hood, observed, listened. He didn't rush. That annoyed her even more. "You don't seem very confident," she added. "Others already tried and failed." He spoke without looking up. Sometimes the problem isn't where everyone is looking. That made her pause for a second, but only for a second. She stepped back, clearly uninterested now. To her, he was just another worker trying to survive the day. What she didn't see was the photo tucked carefully in his wallet. A small child, smiling, waiting at home. The reason he never lost patience. The reason he chose silence over pride. He checked the engine again. Something wasn't right. Not a normal failure. Too precise. Too intentional. He frowned slightly. Someone had done this on purpose. He straightened up, thinking. This wasn't just a repair job anymore. Behind him, she was on a call, frustrated, unaware of what was unfolding. "Handle it," she said into the phone. "I don't want excuses." He looked at her again, not with anger, but with understanding. People under pressure often became cruel. He had seen it before. He took a deep breath and went back to work. Time passed. The crowd slowly lost interest. Some assumed he would fail like the others. But he didn't stop. Every movement was careful. Every step deliberate. Because this wasn't just about fixing a car. This was about doing what was right. And he had already decided, no matter what it cost him. He knew exactly what he was looking at now. This wasn't a random breakdown. A small but critical component had been deliberately damaged in a way that would go unnoticed at first but cause maximum disruption at the worst possible moment. It was smart, dangerous, and personal. He closed the hood gently. "Your car will start now," he said. She looked surprised, slightly annoyed that he sounded so certain. "Really?" She replied, skeptical. He turned the key. The engine came alive smoothly. Silence spread across the parking lot. No one expected that. Her expression changed, but only slightly. "Lucky guess," she muttered. He shook his head softly. It wasn't luck. She looked at him properly for the first time. "What do you mean?" He hesitated. This was the moment. He could walk away, take his payment, forget everything. But something inside him refused. "Someone tampered with your car," he said quietly. Her eyes narrowed instantly. "That's a serious accusation." "I wouldn't say it if I wasn't sure." She stepped closer. "Do you have proof?" He explained calmly. Simple words. Clear logic. No exaggeration. At first, she resisted. People like her didn't accept such claims easily. But then something clicked. The missing numbers. The strange behavior in meetings. The unease she had been ignoring. This wasn't just about the car. It was bigger. Much bigger. Within hours, An internal check confirmed it. Someone from her own executive team had been working against her. Not just sabotage, betrayal. And if the car incident had succeeded fully, it would have created a chain of failures at the worst possible time. He hadn't just fixed an engine. He had prevented a collapse. She stood in her office later, silent, processing everything. For the first time in a long time, she felt something unfamiliar. Not anger. Not control. Humility. She called him back. He entered the office the same way he had arrived. Quiet, simple, unchanged. "I misjudged you," she said directly. He didn't respond. "I treated you unfairly." Still, he said nothing. Not out of pride. Out of peace. "I want to make it right," she continued. "Name your price." He finally spoke. "You already paid for the repair." "That's not what I mean." "I know." Silence again. Then he added, "Some things don't need extra payment." That answer hit harder than anything else. "Why didn't you stay silent?" She asked. "You could have just left." He thought for a moment. Because doing the right thing shouldn't depend on how people treat you. No anger. No blame. Just truth. She looked at him differently now. Not as a mechanic. Not as someone below her. But as someone stronger than her in a way she didn't understand before. "Do you need anything?" She asked, softer this time. He smiled slightly. "Just time." "For what?" "My child is waiting." That was the moment everything shifted. All her success, power, control, it suddenly felt incomplete. He walked away the same way he came. No grand exit. No demand. No pride. Just quiet dignity. And behind him, she stood there, realizing something she had never allowed herself to see before. Sometimes the strongest people are the ones who never try to prove it. And sometimes, the ones we look down on, are the ones holding everything together.